Join me as we expose more hypocrisy and stupidity from the liberal left with the help of the one and only Scott Jennings.
Can we be real for a moment that Doge is not about cutting money, right? It's not about spending. It's about shrinking government so that it'll be too small to stop Trump with whatever else is in this plan.
Why would the government stop Trump? Isn't he the head of the government? You're saying the government would be too small to stop Trump. If Trump's the president, why would the government, the bureaucracy, be actively trying to stop him?
Because he is shredding the Constitution and creating an authoritarian dictatorship. That's why.
And no matter who is in office, I'm going to hold them accountable. But more importantly, I'm going to make sure the government is working for the American people.
Both of you made an interesting point, which is that your view is that Trump is shredding the Constitution. I'd like to hear more about that. But that it seems to me that you all both believe that the unelected part of our government, the bureaucracy, has a responsibility to resist the political leadership. Is that your view?
That's not actually
That's
what
not
we
at all
said. We
what I
said they are
said. Yeah,
upholding the Constitution, the principles of the Constitution, and at times
How
we
is
have
Trump
seen.
shredding the Constitution?
My God, he's like.
I mean, seriously,
He
we have to
doesn't
give
believe in
you a
balance of
civics
power,
lesson
Scott.
that we have.
I don't know,
that we put all power in the executive
How is
branch.
holding the
The
government-
legislative branch, the FBI. Now we're in control of the military. We're
Yes.
silencing media.
Commander-in-Chief
This is
of
what
the
you
military.
do
Yes,
in a
executive power.
dictatorship.
Are
This
you
is not.
suggesting that the president is not the commander-in-chief of the military?
I am suggesting that the president is going to put in charge somebody who is going to contravene the Constitution. And at some near point, this conversation will look very silly for you because it will be obvious. And right now, you're
Wait,
gaslighting.
he's gonna
but when we
put-
get to the actual
he's
rubber
gonna
on the
put-
road of
I'm
this,
sorry.
it will be clear.
I'm interested in this conversation. He's going to put someone in charge who will contravene the Constitution. Like who? What do you mean by that? The president is in charge of the military, is he not? You said he's going to put someone in charge of the
The
military?
president is in charge of the military. That is how it works.
He was elected president. We, according to the Constitution, vest all executive authority in a president. And the concept that the military should be an independent agency or that the bureaucracy should resist the political leadership of this government is extraordinarily dangerous.
That's such a straw
not what
man.
we
It's
said.
That's
ridiculous.
literally not what we said.
I'm just repeating back to you your own
I
words.
did.
Scott Jennings once again proved why he's one of the most effective conservative voices out there during his latest debate with liberals. Watching him dismantle their arguments with calm, logical precision is like watching a masterclass in debate. While the left relies on hyperbolic talking points and emotional rhetoric, Scott stays cool, collected, and fact-based. It's no wonder people are saying he'd make an excellent successor for Mitch McConnell in the Senate. The liberals, on the other hand, sounded like nails on a chalkboard, unhinged and utterly ineffective. Their arguments were less like rhetoric and more like garbled nonsense. It's almost impressive how they managed to twist logic into pretzels while still keeping a straight face. One has to wonder how Scott keeps his composure day after day, sitting across from people who seem to live in an alternate reality. I'd have flipped the table by now. What's truly infuriating is how they double down on their talking points, no matter how many times they're debunked. They don't just make bad arguments, they make the same bad arguments over and over as if repetition will somehow make them true. It's enough to make your blood boil. But Scott, he doesn't just endure it, he thrives in it. He takes their incoherent ramblings and systematically dismantles them, leaving them with nothing but their usual fallback, ad hominem attacks and smug condescension. The left's inability to engage in meaningful debate is on full display every time Scott steps into the ring. They can't handle his calm, reasoned approach because it exposes the emptiness of their positions. While they're busy shouting and flailing, Scott is quietly winning over anyone with an ounce of common sense. It's no surprise that so many are calling for him to take on a bigger role in shaping the future of the conservative movement. In a world where the left seems to dominate the media landscape, voices like Scott Jennings are a breath of fresh air. He's not just a debater, he's a fighter for truth, logic, and conservative values, and honestly, we could use more like him. Keep it up, Scott.